bags full of fabric that are like new but surplus, too little to create a new collection but too valuable to shred. The storeroom of Tamawan Vilod Chayan's garment factory is jam-packed with them. Overproduction is just part of the business model.
Every time that we order the fabric for each particular order, we have to always order an extra percentage, just to be sure that we have enough fabric if the defect happens, or if buyer decide to change some quantity or size, then we have enough to cover the whole quantity.
The young entrepreneur can't do much to change that. Still, for years, she looked for ways to solve her surplus fabric problem. Then, 5 years ago, friends introduced her to financial manager Amanpol Huwanan, a man with a mission.
I wanted to make a change in terms of waste management, and given that we are in the digital age, I think the best way to now manage the waste and make it into a scalable business is through the internet.
In 2018 in Bangkok, they founded Moreloop, an online platform for fabric remnants. A simple yet clever concept.
We like the Airbnb for surplus fabric. So these quality fabric, we would source them from different warehouses, and then they would give us the data of their fabric and the sample, and then we basically put these onto the internet so that people can come and browse and shop online.
But the business got off to a rocky start. Few believed anyone could produce quality fashions from fabric remnants. After 4 months, the founders were ready to throw in the towel. But then they had the bright idea of creating their own collection.
When we produce into a t-shirt, then it's easier to them to have a sense of quality when they wear it, when they touch it.
They showed off their t-shirts at a trade show and sold out in just 2 days. From then on, things went quickly. At first, just 5 factories sold their surplus fabric to Moreloop. Now more than 70 textile producers enter remnants into the database. The selection is large enough to attract corporate clients. Moreloop now produces tailor-made products for 150 companies, like insurance firm Allianz.
I think it makes sense. Instead of producing the new fabric, why don't we just use whatever that's already available? And that's good, because it means that you also help all the factory in the country as well.
She's ordered 18,000 polo shirts, masks, and baseball caps, all with the same design. That's a big challenge for the startup.
We have to mix and match with many different types, different shades of fabric, because the quantity is too big and one leftover fabric could not serve the quantity.
Yet major clients overlook these little differences to show their green cred. As an additional service, Moreloop calculates how much CO2 they've saved, depending on the color, weave, and production method of the chosen material.
The short-term goal is within 2024, we would like to prevent 1 million kilo of CO2 emission through our process. Right now, we have done about 50% in the past 3 years, so we have another 50% to go.
But it's not just big companies who make purchases over Moreloop. So does young designer Tayyida Onburanawan. All the bags and clothes the batik artist creates for her label Marian Ziam are one of a kind. She adapts her ideas to the materials, not the other way around.
Batik is a technique that allows the wax to seep into the fabric. So if the fabric is too thick, then it'll be hard to draw on the fabric with wax. So that's a limitation of batik art. I have to take a sample of the fabric to test out if the technique will work or not.
More Loop's founders only realize these special needs after paying the artist a visit. They're keen to cooperate with designers like Taida Onbaranawan so that they can present her pieces at international fashion shows. And for the designer, the idea of upcycling is a big plus.
มาใช้ในการทำโปรดักต์อะมันเป็นเหมือนกับการเอา
It's more like giving new life to unused fabric.
ขึ้นมาอีกครั้งหนึ่งมากกว่าอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
So it doesn't feel like second-hand
เรา
fabric.
รู้สึกว่ามันเป็นผ้า
And the
มือสอง
customers feel the
เรารู้สึก
same.
ว่ามันเป็นการที่แบบมันเป็นการที่
It's just
แบบเราเอา
repurposing
ผ้าที่มัน
and giving more value to
ใช้
the
ให้เกิดประโยช
fabric.
น์มากกว่ามันเป็นการเพิ่มมูลค่าของผ้ามากกว่าไม่ใช่ผ้ามือสอง
It's a win-win situation. To date, More Loop has saved some 500 tons of carbon dioxide, the equivalent of the CO2 emitted during 5 million kilometers of car travel. But that's still not enough to satisfy its founders.
We want to be the part of the global transition to a circular economy. We want to play that part, and we want to be part of making this new equilibrium a reality.
Their long-term goal is to keep growing and get 500 textile firms putting fabric into the More Loop. And they plan to offer more of their own products, along with T-shirts, masks, and PPE.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, very good.